This is not a timeline transition video, but I did like make a realization today, and I just wanted to make a quick video about it because it's kind of like a big milestone in my like transition, I guess. So in one of my videos where I talk about dysphoria or something like that, I mentioned that December 16th was actually the date, approximately the date that I remember going online and finding trans videos for the first time and kind of realizing that that was me. I don't know if it's exactly December 16th, but it was around this time. It was in 2006, around this time. So I just took it in for a couple of minutes and realized how far I've gone since then. How different I am from the person that I was back then. I made videos about me thinking that I'm trans and exploring it, but I didn't know that you could be trans at like such a young age. For me, it was either you transition when you're like 4 or you transition when you're much older, like 25 or something like that, because I was like 15. So I kept repressing it. I didn't tell anybody. I just did YouTube videos that nobody knew about. I had like 2 views, and I kept going, I'm not trans, I'm trans, I'm not trans. And one day, this hurts to like talk about, because one day I decided that I was not trans. So I go to my, my computer files, and I'm about to press delete on all these trans videos that I had made. I think there was like 4 or 6, which is a big deal. Obviously not edited or anything like that. I made on this shitty like Logitech camera. Oh my god, so bad. And I remember pressing delete, and it says, are you sure you want to delete these? Like from the garbage or recycling, whatever it was called on PC. And I remember putting my mouse on it and being like, I'm gonna regret this when I'm older. And I did it, and I erased it. And I regret it. It makes me really sad. I have like tears in my eyes because it actually, like, it doesn't frustrate me because that's what I know that I wanted to do with that at that time, but it's just, it hurts that I knew that I was gonna regret it, but I repressed it so much because I had no idea that you could be trans at like my age. And it just, because there was no representation. There was 2 trans people on YouTube, and they were both older. And all the documentaries that I had seen was like, with Diane Sawyer, Barbara, whatever, one of those that did a trans children one. It's on YouTube, like it's really old, but I think that's the one where like Jazz is introduced, like, and now she's like older, and yeah. So to me, I felt like I had to wait. I kept telling myself I wasn't trans. It was disgusting. There was no way that I could be trans, and it would make my life way too hard. Well, I repressed it for a while. I told some of my friends in high school, but it was kind of like a, it's a joke. My alter ego, Vince, that's the name that I went by before, oh my god. But I never told people to call me that. It was just kind of like a name I used online with some of my friends who knew. When I got out of high school, it was like, finally, I can do something. So I was able to find a way to get therapy, because in Quebec, we finish high school when we're 17 and not 18, so I didn't want my dad to find out anything, so I waited until I was 18. So I actually waited a year after I graduated high school to do anything, because again, no idea. By that time though, I was making YouTube videos on my old channel. I think it was like Ellen DeGeneres 26 or something, trying to like track how I felt about my transition, if T was right for me and all that stuff. And that process led to me starting T on June 16th, 2010. So right now, today, December 16th, 2014, I am 4.5 years on T. I am a year and 7 months post-op, and I have come so far in the last 8 years. It's so hard to look back and realize that that was me, and I was so unhappy, and I was scared to show how unhappy I was. And look at me now. Like, I am going through really tough times right now. I have depression, and I've had it for over a year. Right now it's horrible, but I'm trying. And it just, no matter how bad or how good the times are for me, trans related or not, I finally get to live in the body that I know I was meant to be in since I was a kid. Since I was a kid, I knew this. I knew that there was something off about me, and it wasn't just that I was a tomboy, or it wasn't just that I was like a lesbian. There was something else that was missing. And that first video that I came across on YouTube, I remember crying. I remember being like, holy shit, trans men exist? I only thought trans women existed. It was eye-opening. That video changed my life forever. If YouTube didn't exist, I probably would have repressed it forever if there was no connections to trans people online or anything, because I didn't want to tell my dad. I didn't want him to like leave or anything like that, which I know he wouldn't, but I was just so scared that he would look at me differently. So now, 8 years later, I'm here on a new channel after being making like 3 other channels. I was on Mighty Men FTM, which was like the first FTM only collab channel. Then I was on It's Tea Time, and then I started FTM Transtastic with some friends, and now we're like the biggest collab channel for trans men on YouTube. And I feel like, not that, because I don't think there's such a thing as like a successful transition, but I feel like I'm accomplished in my transition. Like, I'm proud of the milestones that I've been able to go through, no matter how hard my life has been and how many roadblocks there's been, like depression. It was there. I got depression. It started off post-op depression after having top surgery, and then it full-blown depression, and now over a year later, it's still here. But no matter what, I'm still happy about my transition. I'm still happy about the things that I've decided for myself when I went off of T for a couple of months and went back on. My decision to not have a hysterectomy. Maybe in the future I'll change my mind. At this present moment, I don't want one. My decision to really look into bottom surgery is something that I never thought that I would do. I was so uninformed back then, and I don't know. I can't believe that it's been 8 years since I've realized I know that there is such a thing as trans men, and this is what I am. It's just like huge for me, like, and I understand the privilege that I have to live in Canada and to live in Montreal and to be able to get therapy and transition. I know a lot of people aren't able to do that, or their parents don't approve of them or let them transition, and I feel so bad when I talk about my transition, like how happy I am about where I've been, and then I think about all these people who haven't been able to transition. It hurts, but I feel like somehow my videos, because I do make like videos for friends and family, maybe they'll be able to watch them. I don't know, maybe it's some hope. I'm thinking like I give hope for people. I don't know. I feel like I'm like being really like selfish or like egoistic. Like my videos are amazing, but I don't know, this is just how I feel about my transition right now. And yeah, one of the biggest things that I wish somebody would have told me when I was younger, like when I realized I was trans, not that trans people existed, because, you know, whatever, like pretend like you know you're trans now, which you do if you're watching this video probably. I wish somebody would have told me, do not ever compare your transition to somebody else's. Now, that's probably, it's one of those like easier said than done things to do. I will tell you, I'm still comparing my transition to some people. I don't like it when I catch myself doing it. I'm like, no. So this way I know that it's my transition, it's my body, I'm the one moving through it, I'm the one living in it, I'm the one who are going to deal with the consequences or whatever happens to this body. It's my decision, I'll do whatever I want. That's my philosophy, that's my philosophy. Anybody else, do whatever you want with your body, I don't care. It's just so hard to put it in your mind to not compare yourself to other people. If you're pre-T and you want to be on T and you compare yourself to other people's transition, like you want to have a beard within 7 months. That happens to some people, that's great. Some people, it takes them 3 years to grow a beard. It took me like 3 years, about 3 years to like actually grow something. And now that I'm like 4.5 years, like my mustache is like finally a thing. And then I need to shave it because it's a bit wild right now, but yeah. My goal in the next 8 years, I guess, is to keep making videos and educating people. There are a lot of YouTubers out there, and I don't think that I'm better than anybody else. I don't think that anybody else is better than me. I think that we're all on the same, you know, the same length length, whatever, the same platform, I don't know, the same level. Some people have more followers, what's wrong with me? More subscribers. Some people have more subscribers, some people have less, but no matter what, it's our narrative, it's our transition, we're deciding to put it online. And in the next 8 years, I want to continue making videos. My videos have shifted in the last year from talking about my transition to starting to help people more. So by starting to help people more, I'm making videos for family and friends, I'm making videos for FTM sex talks that are like sex related for trans guys, and I'm doing all of these different videos that are helpful just because I feel like I've gone through so much in my transition and I'd like to give back to the community that's given so much to me. Anyways, this video is a lot longer than I thought it would be. That's all I have to say. Thank you to that person who pointed out in the comments that today is like the day 8 years ago that I was like, holy shit, I'm trans. Any comments, video suggestions, anything like that, please don't hesitate to ask or whatever in the comments, and I'll see you later.